Roger. 2,000 feet.
Hi there, Wycliffe Barrett here, Explain Dedicated. Exciting times because Pilot Plus have produced Gatwick Airport. There are a number of Gatwick airports available on explain.org, but this is from Future Game Shop and Pilot Plus. You can buy it from either of those locations. I'll put links below in the description and the notes. Here we are then in Explain 10, and I have to say, I think that this is pretty dang good. Don't forget that in the United Kingdom, I've got the RC Simulations photoreal scenery for the UK, and so the scenery plops in really nice and looks really, really good. One of the things that I am really impressed about with this scenery is the tree placement. The tree placement is absolutely superb. Brilliant job has been done by Joe and his fellow developers. So I suppose I really need to talk about who Pilot Plus are. Pilot Plus is a small development group. There's 4 developers, all ranging from the ages of around about 19 to 20 something. Very young group of guys. You've got Joe Charman, who is the CEO of Pilot Plus. He's studying at Swansea University in the United Kingdom at the moment. Jack Bergefield, and I hope I've pronounced that right, or Bengefield, sorry. He's one of the assistant developers, not quite sure where he lives. Then you have Jackson Banks, who's also an assistant developer. And then you've got Ollie Lane, who is the person who deals with the orthophoto imagery. And I have to say that he's done really, really well. The orthophoto imagery for Gatwick Airport is high quality. It does get a little bit blurry in some places, and where you've got car parks like this that we're flying over and there are no 3D cars on, it looks a little bit out of place. But the tree placement actually makes up for that. And then, of course, we've got the absolutely wonderful airport environment itself, with the new terminals and buildings being placed in, all of which are custom built. Now, there is a couple of things that maybe could be done better, and one of those is the night lighting. The night lighting for the apron and the taxiways, etc., they're all very, very good. But the night lighting in the buildings, it looks a little bit, well, not as good as it could be. Certainly not as good as the Bristol, but it's still very, very good. I think they just need to change some things around the glass. As you can see, though, Gatwick is a really large airport. It is the largest single-use airport in the United Kingdom. It carried something like 40 million passengers last year, and is a base for British Airways, EasyJet, Monarch, Norwegian and Virgin Atlantic. And charter operators such as Thomas Cook and Thomson Airways operate out of Gatwick Airport. I flew out of Gatwick Airport not last year, the year before, when we went to Jamaica on the 787, and we went under the walkway here, as we're just coming up to it on the left hand side in the 787. It was very impressive. Every texture is photoreal and is in high definition. We have implemented many visual effects such as ambient occlusion, custom night lighting and custom shadowing. This all shows actually in the airport, as you can see as I fly around here. The airport looks very real. Every 3D model has been modeled to extreme accuracy, replicating the atmosphere of the real airport. What I like to see is EasyJet there in their new livery also. But there is another surprise in store. There's another surprise in store which we're going to get to in a little while. I'll tell you about that in a few moments. But carrying on. So it's a faithful replica of London Gatwick, high resolution ground imagery, custom night lighting, as I said, and we'll have a look at that in a few moments. Many animations in and around the airport. There's even a custom track with an animated tram, which we saw earlier, and we might catch it again. Custom made static aircraft bundled pack, so you can put static aircraft in there if you want. Animated jetways, of course you will need Marginal's jetway plug-in. Very detailed 3D models covering the whole airport. Once again, ambient occlusion, custom runways, aprons and taxiways. 3D grass and vegetation within airports and local area, and optimized for maximum performance. And I would say it is certainly well worth that alone. It is really well optimized, and In addition to all of that, there are over 70,000 hand-placed objects, so that is an incredible number. These guys are really getting to grips with their skill and are producing really good airports. One thing I will say is some of the rooftops, the photoreal texturing on some of the roofs could be a little bit better. Maybe put some 3D pipe work on top as opposed to just photo textures, but all very good. There's some of the roofs, and you can tell by looking at the photo textures that it should be 3D. But you know, it's a skill that has to be learned, and these guys are really doing a good job. They've produced Gatwick in a very short period of time. They've managed to get this out in a very short period of time, and maybe that's reflected in some of the odd little mistakes that I mentioned, but overall I think it's really worth the money. It's a little bit more expensive than some of their other airports at £19.99, so that's around about $21 at a guess. I'll put the accurate price in right about now, and you can see that. But the big surprise is coming. Here it is. It's also optimized for X-Plane 11, and this is what it looks like in X-Plane 11. I haven't spent as much time flying around in X-Plane 11 as I did in the XP10 version, but you can see how it blends in, what it looks like with the new kind of atmospherics that are on in X-Plane 11. Looks very nice. The clouds there are SkyMax Pro version 3, which is not yet optimized for X-Plane 11, but still in my view looks very good, especially at sunset here. There's the covered bridge, the walkway, which aircraft have to taxi underneath. Just pulling out a little bit, looking really good. I can't say enough about this. In X-Plane 11, of course, you've got the new AutoGen and the new OSM, and I'm also using Tony Roblewski's W2XP plugin as well, so it really does look good. I'm going to keep quiet. We're going to have some music as we come towards the end of this video. What I will say is that this is a very large detailed airport, and for £19.99 I think it's well worth the money. It needs a little bit of tweaking here and there, and I'm pretty sure that the guys at Pilot Plus will be doing some updates. One further thing to say just before the music starts, and that is, as far as I can see, at least 3 of the developers have got PPLs. They've got their private pilot licenses or are actually trying to achieve them. So it kind of puts them in a different position. They know what they're doing, and they kind of know what they're looking for when they produce their airports. Anyway, here's the music. I'll be back in a moment. We've gone up into the clouds a little bit here just to see what it looks like in XP11 through the clouds, and there's the night lighting. The night lighting is a little bit muted, but once again that could be well to do with XP11. We do know that XP11 has got some fantastic lighting, but with the atmospherics it sometimes looks a little bit muted, as we can see here. Overall, I still think that this is a fantastic airport. As always, my name's Wycliffe Barrett. This is X-Plane Dedicated reviewing Gatwick, which is now out on XP10 and XP11. Yeah.